Hey champions, Arian, Tyson here. Feel free to like, comment, or share this video. We are at video 7 of this 7-part video series on the 7 characteristics of having a winning mindset. Thank you so much for those who have followed along, who have been keeping track with videos 1 through 6 so far. If you have not seen the previous 6 videos, feel free to go back and watch them and leave your comments on them. So let me dive in. Give a brief recap. In video 1, talked about the importance of having a high level of integrity. And then in video 2, talked about the importance of having a servant's heart. Video 3 discussed having a clear vision. Video 4 talked about the importance of having focus. Video 5 talked about the importance of being consistent. And then video 6 discussed how we must be empowering and inspiring. Now with this final video of this video series, the final characteristic that you must have in order to have, develop, and maintain a winning mindset, no matter what level of life you get to, no matter what your income gets to or grows to, you have to continue to exercise humility. You have to exercise humility. It's one thing to just bring unnecessary drama to your life because you're going around bragging, you're going around being arrogant, cocky, so on and so forth. But just as fast as you grew to the income level that you desire to be to, you can lose it just as fast. And a lot of reason is really due to the fact that it's a lot of hateful, envious, and jealous people in the world. Jealousy, in retrospect, really comes from being lazy. Because if you want something bad enough, you can go out and get it. Life and death lies in the power of our tongue. So we have to be mindful, be careful of the things that we say, but also be mindful of the things that we do. And in all things, we must exercise humility. We must be thankful for every place, for every level that we're at, even the level that we're on right now. We might not be where we want to be, but thanks be to God, we ain't where we used to be. We're not that person we used to be. And that's really where humility comes in, because exercising humility is really part of the process. It's part of the process. You didn't become a sensation overnight. You had to learn. You had to humble yourself. You had to become disciplined. And you can't forget that, because that's important. That's what helped you get to where you are now, and it's helping you get to where you're going. And so when it's all said and done, realize that without having those 7 characteristics that we discussed, without maintaining a high level of integrity, without, and because that applies in business, that applies in relationships. In other words, do what you say you're going to do. And when you make a mistake, own up to it. When you have a servant's heart, because it can't be all about me. You have to have the ability to pay it forward and understand that when you pay it forward, it comes back to you tenfold, 100-fold. To have, when you have a clear vision, I mean, it's one thing to go through life knowing where you're going, but then it's a completely different ball game when you go through life just going with the flow. Because the flow can change on you, and you might not be ready with it. You might not be ready. But when you have a clear vision, you won't fold under the first sign of pressure, or at the first sign of trouble. You won't fold. When you have focus, when you stay forever on course until you're successful, when you follow one course until you're successful, that makes a difference, and people see that, and people recognize that, and ultimately people will respect that. And if they cannot respect that, then you don't need to have no parts of them. You need to separate from them as far as the East is from the West. And then when you have the ability, when you develop consistency and understand the importance of being consistent, people respect that. People respect that. They admire that, because you're not doing one thing 1 minute and then doing another thing the next minute. You're showing a level of consistency, so they can take what you're doing, you know, and they can take it as bond. Or you could say something and it's consistently lining up with your actions. And so basically your word becomes bond. And then when you get to the point after you've become, you know, after you've been consistent, you know, then that level of consistency will allow you to become empowering. It will allow you to inspire people to want better out of life instead of just settling. And then when you get to all those places, and you hit all those points, then the last thing you do is exercise humility. Never forget where you come from. Never forget the process, because you will be able to tell people your story, and there's power in your story, and nobody can tell your story better than you. So I trust that you all have enjoyed this series. If you got value from it, feel free to like, comment, or share this video. Follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at the handle of Arian Tyson. In life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.